Come to me, you bold brave men, come north and live. To James Bay down that free flyway from the Arctic's chill skies to the sun.
Believe me, this is adventure. Real tingling adventure that begins where the railroad ends and the air trails start. We climb into the amphibian and we're on our way to where the wild geese wait, flying over a hunter's paradise, until on the doorstep of subarctic seas, we get a goose-eye view of the wide autumn gold marshes fringing James Bay. Look out, you honkers, here we come. Yes, this is the place. All a hunter could ask for is right here. Hospitality, a comfortable bed, and birds galore. It's up with the dawn, for the geese are moving, and we're eager to get those guns barking. We pile into the swamp buggy, and we're on our way across the vast marshlands. Look at the geese. Let's get with it. Not much cover for a hunter in this flat country, but with plenty of warm, waterproof clothing, we're all set for whatever comes our way, ready to crouch in the blind and wait for the geese. Here they come, like waves of bombers. So load up. Excited? You bet. Excited and ready. The Indian guide puts out our decoys, goose wings on sticks. We won't have to wait long now. Keep your head down behind the alders. Keep still. Listen to the guide and his goose talk, coaxing them into range. Well, there he is, the one that got away. The Swampy Cree Indians of James Bay are great hunters. It's amazing how they can spot where a goose falls in the thickest marsh grass and run right to it. I've never seen them lose one. And without their goose talk, you'd never get a shot at a bird, never get them low enough or close enough. You've heard tales of the silent north, but come autumn on James Bay, it's anything but silent. Not with thousands of wild geese milling in the sky and all of them talking at once. What a wild, lonely, and exciting sound it is. Muted, yet always there. That's it. Don't forget the birds. Then in with the guns and the other gear, and let's get rolling back to camp. These machines are the taxis of the Northland. You see their tracks in the most remote places. No matter what the season, they go where no wheeled vehicle could possibly travel. I get a real thrill out of places like this, knowing, for instance, that not far from here you can see seals and walrus and even polar bear. Yes, right on Ontario's saltwater coastline. And when you get back to camp, it's great to be able to show proof of your shooting skill. Not bad shooting for the first day. Yes, something to be proud of. And after sundown comes the satisfaction of the relaxing evening and the talk. Maybe even a bit of bragging about the ones that didn't get away. And outside in the northern night, if you listen, you'll hear the geese honking high in the sky. It seems you can even hear the whisper of their wings.
In South Ontario, man and dog can roam a rolling field, where pheasants' feathers fine and sleek through cornstalks softly steal. With whirring wings the pheasant flies when the dog is coming hard. The hunter smiles if he should miss, his dog's joy his reward.
You can't get any further south in Canada than Pelee Island, where the pheasant shooting is not just good, it's great. But first, there's a short ferry trip into Lake Erie to the island. The cover is often thick. And crafty pheasants like to run, but a good dog keeps them honest. It's a rare day that a hunter doesn't get his quota of Pelee birds, because there are about 40,000 pheasants on the island. You walk, watch the dog, and hey, there he goes. Yes, Pelee is the place where you can really put a feather in your cap. A pheasant feather, that is. There's also good pheasant shooting on the mainland, principally in the southwestern part of the provinces and adjacent to the shores of Lake Ontario. They say, and I believe it must be true, that during the annual two-day hunt on Pelee, there are more corporation presidents and vice presidents to the acre than at any other spot in Ontario. Yes, the smart hunters from all over come to Pelee for pheasant.
Duck hunting is for rugged men. It's up before the sun. It's lovely weather for the ducks was never meant in fun. Bluebells and teal come with cold winds that blow the red leaves down. But the thrill when they pitch in is not for men who stayed in town.
I don't know which I like better when duck time comes. The sport itself, or feasting my eyes on the brilliant autumn colors along the highways. I guess it's a measure of both. Driving along full of pleasant anticipation, looking forward to the hours when we'll see and hear the ducks come dropping in. The miles roll by, and it seems that in no time at all, we're jogging down the rural roads to keep our date with the ducks. As a change from sitting in a blind, we sometimes go jump shooting in the bush, with the dogs along, of course, to do their job. This jump shooting among the thick brush and trees, around forest ponds and swamps, many of them engineered by the beavers, calls for right tricky shooting. How's that? Feel the gun punch your shoulder and see the birds tumble out of the sky. There's duck on the menu tonight. And if you want birds other than ducks or geese or pheasants, Ontario also offers quail, grouse, and woodcock. Great place for a man and a dog.
The light snow stills the hunter's steps before he takes his stand. With flicking flag the slender deer scoots from the stalking band. The hunter aims but cannot shoot, buck fever's won the day. The bounding deer his beauty spared goes on his lightning way.
Autumn steps lead to deer country, and there's plenty of it. Take your choice. Go by car or travel by train, or as we do, fly into a remote camp. over a land of countless lakes of shimmering gunmetal, where our paths cross with others on their way to hunt. After a good night's sleep, we rise early to draw straws, to see who'll stand watch and who will go with the hounds. On other days, we'll rotate the watches, so that everyone gets a chance at the best ones. Time to hunt. We file into the woods, and from here on, safety is doubly important. Bright clothing is the cardinal rule, so that no hunter will be mistaken for game in thick timber. And no horseplay with guns, either. No loading up until you're left on watch. You're never really alone in the bush. There's always some little fellow around for company. It's amazing how loud small sounds can be in the quiet places when your senses are keyed up. Wind rustling in dry leaves, sighing in the treetops. I love every minute of this. Watching, waiting, listening. You check and recheck your rifle, and you look over the field of fire. Yes, you've got to watch the edge of the woods, where it meets the clearing. When one comes, that'll likely be the place. For the moment, all we do is wait and listen. Soon the hounds will pick up the scent and give voice, bugling loud and clear, hurrying the quarry toward the watches. Each man is keen for any sound or sight. You watch and you wait, and if this is your first deer hunt, you wonder, if a buck broke out right over there, what would you do? Nice shooting. There's going to be some good venison dinners out of this one. It's good to know that since early last century, the population of white-tailed deer has continued to increase in Ontario. 160 years ago, whitetails were seldom seen north of Lake Superior. But now you'll find them almost up to James Bay. The lifespan of these deer seldom exceeds 10 years in the wild. Well, it's been quite a day, quite a hunt. Now, back to camp with the trophy.
From Kenora to Algoma's wilds, when the trees are getting bare, the moose moves proudly through the woods like a king who doesn't care. When he comes thundering by your watch, make sure his path is clear. His hurtling hooves and royal rack can give you quite a scare.
Some of the best jump-off spots for moose hunting are way back along the northern rail lines. And it's hard to beat the sociability of a train ride, while all the time thinking of the moose with the trophy head. Moose are the real big game of Ontario, and like the deer, their range has widened greatly in the past 100 years. Until now, moose are found in the northern hinterland right up to the limit of trees. Later on in the season, when the weather is cooler, you have to follow them deep into the forest and stalk them along the higher ridges. But early in the season, it's best to seek your moose near water, where it loves to feed. How big do moose grow? Well, a bull can go up to 1,400 pounds and a cow to about 1,000 pounds. So once you've got your moose, it's a lot of meat to pack out of the bush, which is why most hunters prefer to do their shooting near water, a short carry and a boat or canoe to take the load. I guess it's been the same all through history, from the cave dwellers right up to the lodges of the red man. After the hunt comes the relaxed conversation by the fire. Now the big moments are relived. Those tricky wing shots that paid off, the sharp shooting that brought down the big buck. At times like this, the workaday world is far, far away indeed. What stories these and other walls must have heard. In spring and summer, the yarns of fishermen. In winter, the brisk talk of ski slopes and snowshoe trails. Seems to me there's something doing every season for sportsmen. And for family folk, too, during the sunny schools out days. Come to think of it, the spring hunting for bear is mighty good. It's a real challenge for the woodsman because old Bruin is a pretty shy fellow, and a fast-moving one, too. Hospitality is in the cards for sure, and lots of elbow room for those who want it. More than 400,000 square miles, in fact, which is nearly twice the size of France or Texas. Canoe trails and cruising waterways follow the routes of the voyageurs, and history is found at every bend of river, road, or rail. For sport, fishing matches the hunting, the slashing muskie, tail-dancing smallmouth bass, aristocratic trout. Think on these things. Yes, home is the hunter. Home with golden memories that time can never dim.
The hunting's done, the hunter heads for the gray cold city's roar, and leaves the golden land beyond the Great Lake's northern shore, where birds and beasts wait in the woods, their shimmering diamond lakes. But he'll be back when leaves turn red before the first snowflakes. The journey north's a thing of joy by 1,000 smooth highways, to where the duck, moose, deer, or geese feed by blue rippling bays, past bubbling streams and silver lakes where the leaves are all aflame, where the tingling air and sound so rare will make you glad you came, will make you glad you came.